Back to Summit Sunrise. We have to stop ourselves in mid-conversation because Aaron and I have a lot in common. We
just start talking.
We do. Two small boys. Talking about teething and talking about how it's painful for me, which is totally.
It's more
my
painful
husband
for
be
the
rolling
parent.
his eyes. I know. It's just so hard because you can't do anything to help. But 5 teeth in 3 weeks?
Yep.
That's a lot. That's something that maybe he needs some nice warm tea.
I know.
Let's talk about Red Buffalo.
Yes.
First of all, what are you guys all about?
Well, Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea is in Silverthorne. We are a family-owned and operated coffee shop. That's one of the fun things you could talk about family. You'll sometimes see me in there with my son. You'll see my sister pass through, or my mother, and my father. And it's just, when you come to your local Silverthorne coffee shop, that's us, or you go to any of your local businesses, is that so many of them are family-owned. You'll meet all the people in the community, and it's really just kind of being a part of where you are.
Right, and I love that. I think that feeling of, you guys knowing who people are when they walk in the door, and really, a nice way to kind of start your morning when someone gives you that friendly smile on, maybe you're having a hectic morning, or for me, I'm not feeling at my best. I'm just getting over a cold, and having this tea brought into me. You're actually someone I thought of first thing this morning. I'm like, I can't
it's Monday,
wait.
I get tea.
I can't wait for Red Buffalo.
Yes.
So something exciting that's happening for you guys right now is what?
We have our anniversary coming up this weekend, and it's really fun. You just saw that snowy shot of our back patio, but that was actually taken before we got our back patio remade.
Oh,
so
nice.
Our back patio is remade.
With heaters too?
We're going to put heaters out there soon.
Okay.
But it's still so nice out.
I was going to say, I'm jumping ahead of myself. We definitely don't need heaters with the temperatures like they are today.
Well, last week we might have. But
right.
so this weekend is our 3rd-year birthday.
Oh,
and so we are going to be offering a special. It's our 3-year, $3 latte special. So come in Saturday or Sunday, regular latte, it's just going to be $3.
Oh, and so is that like any kind of flavor with the latte?
Not just the flavor, not the flavors, but just a small, medium, or large regular latte. Doesn't matter what size.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Will just be $3 even.
I have yet to taste something from you guys that I haven't liked.
Well, we like that. And we're going to have cupcakes too.
Cupcakes?
So
who doesn't love cupcakes?
Free little cupcakes. So so it's our 3-year birthday coming up this weekend. And so it's a 3-year, $3 latte special.
And for those of people that are maybe visiting too this week, where are you guys located? It's a great location in Silverthorne.
We are 358 Blue River Parkway in Silverthorne. So that's just a half a mile north of the I-70 Silverthorne Interstate exit. So it's just so close to everything in Silverthorne, the factory stores, the rec center. If you're doing anything at the pavilion this weekend, or you're taking the Summit Stage anywhere, we're right across the street from the transfer station.
Oh, that's great.
And we're Silverthorne's only locally owned coffee shop, and
there
the only thing north of the highway that you can get good coffee. We're open 7 days a week, 6:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
So you really can't miss us. We got free wireless internet. We have some pastries. Of course, we have all your favorite espresso drinks. We have loose tea options.
Which, let's talk about your loose tea options. You brought me jasmine
pearls. It's not your standard jasmine tea that you would get at a Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
It's these really nice, these little like pearl balls about the size of a small pearl strand, really, and then they just open up into like the whole leaf unfurls, and you can taste just the quality is so much better.
Well, before I even took a sip, I could smell the jasmine coming through.
It's very fragrant, yes.
Even with a stuffy nose, I can smell it. And it definitely kind of soothes the throat, which is great. The loose leaf teas that you guys have, that's really like something that a lot of people don't realize. The tea, I think of tea, sometimes I thought of tea bags before I met you, of course.
You think of tea in a tea bag, but what tea really is, there's so much more to it. And if you come on in, we're happy to tell you about how tea is really a specific plant called Camellia sinensis. If it doesn't have that plant in it, it's technically not tea, it's just an herbal steep. All the history behind it. But I wanted to pass out one quick trivia history thing.
Ooh, trivia.
It is Veterans Day today.
It is.
And it's a rumor because no one can really pinpoint it. So I don't want someone coming and being like, well, I've heard otherwise. But one of the little bit of history behind the Cup of Joe, why is it called a Cup of Joe? It's because in 1913, Woodrow Wilson promoted a new Secretary of the Navy, and they banned wine on all the naval vessels. And so coffee became the next strongest drink that all the
I would definitely bet that that's probably has some truth to it.
Another rumor was that in Vietnam, during the Vietnam War, there was a lot of obviously veterans who stayed afterwards, and they always wanted coffee, and they didn't the way they served coffee in Vietnam was different from what they were used to in the United States. So they learned to
Sure.
serve how the American soldiers liked it. And so when they were there, the just became known as a cup of joe. So there's a couple different stories around the history behind it, but most of them always kind of come back to this military story.
Well, that's a great Veterans Day little teaser, I
So
guess.
go on and order a cup of joe from somewhere.
Cup of joe from somewhere, preferably Red
Yes,
Buffalo.
if you're in
You could get a
Silverthorne.
history lesson as well. Some great facts. Well, thank you, Erin, for stopping in. It's always
Thanks for having
a
me.
pleasure. And definitely check out Red Buffalo. You're driving on I-70 and just need a little pick-me-up, a great place to stop in. Or if you're shopping at the outlets. We're going to take another quick break, but we'll be back with more Summit Sunrise after this. Yay.